Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So just wait for some people to come in. We have our special guests today. Julia Reacts and Tumi Yuki will be joining us. So I'll wait for them to come in and yeah. So we're just going to be discussing some recent news, some reacting to some things that have been going on. Candace did her podcast, I think yesterday. There was one yesterday. Hi, Alexis. Hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, if I sound okay, hopefully. More people are coming in. Good to see everybody. They haven't arrived yet. Yeah, there's been a lot of reaction, some very strong reaction. Thanks, Alexis. To Candace's recent podcast. I haven't watched them. I've just seen clips, for full disclosure. And I'm glad I didn't watch yesterday's, because apparently she showed another angle of Charlie Kirk being taken out the way he was taken out. Apparently this was exclusive footage, but there are some people saying that she has shown it before. And one thing I've noticed about her, and I do kind of worry about this, is she just seems fixated on the different footage that's out there. And of course, that's under the guise of she's a so-called investigative journalist. But it didn't seem healthy to me. This is your friend, somebody who you claim is your friend, and you're talking about how you've seen the video from every different angle, and it's so important for this footage to be out there. I don't know. I just think it came across as kind of sadistic to me. It's certainly not healthy. And I know people who didn't know Charlie, just, people on the internet are saying that footage traumatized them. So, love Candace. Sorry. I've always, in the past, I've liked Candace, so I get it. I've watched her series. I've enjoyed some of the information that she's put out there and the way she presents her podcast. So, I get it. But a lot of what she did yesterday hasn't sat well with people, even people who were supporting her. It's just a matter of, this is somebody you say is your friend. There are strangers on the internet who can't watch that footage over and over again because it's traumatizing. But this is somebody who you knew, claimed to have been close with, and you're sharing that footage like 6 months after. And again, it always raises the question, what's the purpose? What was solved by sharing that footage? Another angle was shown. So we're going to talk about that. And I believe that she has been debunked once again with some of the information she's put out there. Apparently she's trying to link Erica to Epstein. And of course, anything is possible. I don't put anything past anybody. But as soon as I heard that she was trying to do that, the first thing I thought was, isn't Erica only like 37 now? The age doesn't, in my opinion, just doesn't match up. A lot of the victims, they're in their 40s now. The youngest people in this story in regards to, those who had connections with Epstein, they're at least in their 40s. Like Virginia Giuffre was in her 40s. So I don't know. The first thing I was thinking was the age doesn't match up. And yeah, that's one of the ways that she has been debunked with her trying to link her to Epstein. And for me, I think she just discredited herself when she's trying to put herself out there as somebody looking out for trafficking victims, when you lie for and defend Andrew Tate. So for me, she discredited herself a long time ago when you dox victims and conceal the name of a convicted ex-offender who's actually in prison right now serving time for crimes against minors. To me, you cannot tell me that you're some champion of trafficking victims when you are a defender of Andrew Tate. That's how I see it. So the motive just doesn't seem pure. You're looking for something you can link to Erica because that is going to get you the clicks, that's going to get you the views, as far as I'm concerned. So let's see. I'll take some comments about this from some dissenters. You can love Candace and she still be dead wrong. Okay, yeah. And when she is, she never apologizes. As a Christian, this doesn't look good on her. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I thought that was a dissenter. No, that's somebody who agrees. I'm not even going to talk about her being a Christian. Like, no, sorry, I don't see the fruit. I just don't see any evidence of that. She seems to despise Christians, in my opinion. That's how it comes across to me. She's an accuser of the brethren. That's what she is doing to Erica Kirk. And again, you don't have to like Erica, but I just don't see how people can continue to defend Candace's actions against somebody who is grieving, objectively speaking. She lost her husband just 6 months ago. So that is a fact. And Erica is a human being. I'm seeing if my guests have arrived yet. I mean, let's just look at this quick example. She has no respect. If you claim that Charlie is your friend, at least show a little bit of respect towards his grieving widow. For Charlie's sake, even if you don't like her. To me, and isn't Erica's mother like very sick at the moment? Her mother is very sick, and this is how you talk about her mother. So she posted this the other day. Laurie Fronsvey is a fraud like the daughter she raised. This woman even divorced her third husband on paper only because she wanted to achieve business contracts designated for independent females. Larry Granita and her still together. He takes care of her. Every person who knows Laurie describes her as vile and as someone who is willing to do anything for money and power. The curated videos. Julia has just arrived.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Lovely to see you. Julia Reacts has joined.
Thank you so much. My nanny. Is Tumi here?
Yes, I believe she is.
Okay.
Hi, Tumi.
Hi.
You guys ready?
Good morning. Good morning and good evening.
Hi, Tumi.
Good morning for me.
Yeah, same.
Good evening from me.
Julia, you look nice and green.
Thank you. I'm moving house, so it's not easy. It's not easy.
Oh, no, that's not easy. I was just sharing this with everybody. Candace is continuing to while out. And, you know, I was just talking about, you claim somebody is your friend. Why such disrespect to his wife? Even for your friend's sake.
Jealousy.
Yeah. For your friend's sake, would you not show a little respect?
And you know, the thing is, like, I have friends who've gotten married, obviously, because that's what happens with age. And I can't even think of one negative thing to say about those spouses. Like, I literally cannot come up with anything negative. So for somebody to literally die and then someone to go on the attack of this magnitude, it's like you were just waiting. You hated them all this time and you were just waiting. Because, like, I personally don't think, like I said last time, that if Charlie had married a Black woman, a Latina, an Asian woman, that Candace would be so triggered. But the fact that she basically was bullied by white girls at her high school and had racist incidents and sued people at her school or whatever, called the NAACP twice, then, like, I feel like that is the trigger point. But at this point in time, Candace is older than me. How far removed from high school are we? I graduated high school in 2013. Like, why is it so... You know what I mean? Like Brigitte Macron, a blonde woman. to throw that in there too. But like, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
If she was a redhead, would she care? If she was a Middle Eastern woman, would she care? Like, what is? I think that deep down she doesn't see Erica Kirk. She just sees, oh, a white woman bullied me and then came back for the ultimate revenge and took what I was owed. You know, because she probably feels like, oh, Erica wasn't with Charlie when she started Turning Point, even though Candace wasn't. She got brought on afterwards, you know. But she, you know, those people who feel like, oh, you weren't shooting with them in the gym, but now you want to be Kobe Bryant's wife, you know, the head of the basketball association. Not that she is or anything like that, but you know what I mean. Like, oh, you weren't there when he was struggling and, you know, hitting 1,000 free throws, throwing 1,000 free throws to get better, and now boom, here you are. But yeah, it's too much. It's literally too much. And I understand the whole, we're just asking questions, but at this point, like we've all said, everybody on YouTube has said who's talked about this, it's become days of our lives. Tune in next week to see this. Tune in tomorrow to see this. And then I have another thing to tune in. And I think at this point that people are sending her fake information just to make her look stupid because they know she's so manic, like, you know, just so like this, that she'll just take anything, like the Freemason Bibles when you can buy them on Amazon. And she's like, oh, look, I got the secret Bible that nobody knows about, that nobody can get until they hit 33rd degree. Like, I can go buy it right now and read it. It's probably at the library. It's probably at Barnes & Noble. So, and again, someone who had a family, like if somebody saw that I was literally not okay, like truly not okay, not just, oh, I'm posting if okay, like, you know, we've all talked about Meghan Markle, but let's say if I was like, yeah, you guys, Meghan is outside my house, and every day it was like, Tumi's obviously like, this is different from her content to the point where she's not okay. Like, it's obvious she's having some sort of mental breakdown or something, where it's just too much. If we talked about Meghan the way that this girl is talking about Erica Kirk, the Egyptian planes following Meghan Markle around before the Queen died, like, what? Oh, I know that she murked the Queen. I know that she whatever. We have our speculations about her, but if we were presenting them as extra, like, let's say we got into the actual conspiracies about Meghan and we went like to the point where it's like, oh, I have proof that this, I know this, I have sources, and I have sources, it would be like, all right, are you actually all right? Like, someone would have to come to me and tell me, yo, Tumi, I saw your latest video, but when you said that Meghan Markle was driving around outside your house, like, are you okay? Like, are you actually okay? But if people were just like, oh, spill the tea, sis, and I was getting a 2 million views per video every day, tune in for this, and then I had people sending me sources, it would just be like, now it's getting out of hand. You know what I mean? It's getting out of hand.
Well, she's been sent dodgy information, and that was been proven when she doxed her law firm.
Yeah.
Them to the Delaware address.
Yeah.
And she still doubles down.
She can't say she's wrong.
Yeah, she will double down.
She's allergic to saying, oh, my bad.
And I have to agree with this comment. Someone said that she's baiting Erica.
I wouldn't. Yeah. She's been doing it this whole time for the past 6 months.
Yeah. Candace is rage baiting. Where did it go? Yeah, Candace is rage baiting Erica to respond when she speaks maliciously about her mum. Erica needs to keep quiet and not respond to her. And I think that's one of the reasons why she shared that footage yesterday of the back of Charlie's head on the day of the assassination. Another angle that she seems obsessed with, sharing different angles of the shooting. I believe she's trying to get Erica to once again respond to her. The woman coming to Tennessee and sitting down with you for 4 hours clearly wasn't enough. And she wants more.
Yeah, I mean, but what does she want? Does she want Erica to step down from Turning Point USA and go live in obscurity and never show her face? That's what she wants.
Yeah.
And then she's mad about, because even when Erica said that, I mean, obviously, Charlie, he okay, how do I say this? He was hated enough by a certain fringe group of people to literally massacre him in broad daylight, right? like, as he was literally, it was a political assassination. And some people get mad when you even say that, because when you say that, it brings up like people like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, you know what I mean? Those sorts of people. So like, why would a 33-year-old white boy be politically assassinated? Okay, so what was it? That's exactly what it was. You know what I mean? But anyways, obviously Erica feels like the grave should be private. We don't know where he's buried, and good for her. Literally good for her. You know what I mean? Because because people are crazy. Like people are literally like, something happened to people that made them 20 times more crazier than they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, to the point where like they would desecrate a grave, right? People burn down churches. They would desecrate a grave. People have desecrated graves before. So it's like, good on her for doing it so privately that literally nobody knows except her and her kids, and probably Charlie's like parents and, you know, siblings and stuff like that. And then I remember Candace made a comment about, oh, why are people praying for Erica and her kids? Like, whoa. I don't know if people remember, there was a time where this woman named Laura Loomer on Twitter said that Joe Biden was having a medical emergency and there was ambulances going to Air Force One, and that they basically blocked off this certain place where he was going for the campaign, and that they rushed him to the hospital, but they kept everything so hush-hush that like only they knew about it, and very small leaks got out, but the mainstream media would never talk about it, obviously, because this is before they admitted that he had cancer or whatever, that they were covering it up. And guess what? Did I vote for him? No. But did I pray for him? Yeah. I don't want anyone to go out like that, like, or be sick on that magnitude where there's ambulances rushing and all that. It's too much, right? So what do you mean? This is your best friend, and you're saying, why are people praying for his wife and kids? And even when they said, oh, talk about Erica, she's like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Her outfits? You're so jealous, Candace. What? Because you never dressed well? Because now you need a team of stylists to put you together, but like obviously when you compare the two, not that you should be of fashion, like there's not much of a comparison to be had. But also, let's look at the backgrounds. Obviously, someone who is in the pageant world has to dress up. They were dressing up from 5 years old when they first got in the pageants. They learned, oh, this is how you put makeup on. 5-year-olds who are in pageants do makeup better than me, because literally they put it together. They have to put it together for the pageants, even though they're 5, which is crazy to even say that. They're 5-year-olds in pageants who are putting on lipstick or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's just embarrassing. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. To me, it's just embarrassing that also she's Black. Like, because she was the first big social media Black woman politician commentator, right? On social media. I'm not talking about what's her name, Harris Faulkner. I think she's from on Fox News. She's been on Fox News for like 20 years. She's an actual established journalist. I mean, like a social media personality, right? We've had the people like, I mean, even Alex Jones was in radio, so I can't really bring him up. But we've had white people who are in the political sphere forever, right? Who are social media people forever, right? So it's not a big deal. But like, she was the first Black woman who was hard launched onto the political stage, even with Black people. I don't know anybody who's a Black Democratic version of Candace Owens, like who's a social media personality, not someone who was on an established TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because people may say, oh, there's Joy Reid. She was literally on MSNBC for like a decade. So I'm not talking about people like that. I mean, just from social media. And like, we never had that. That's why it was like, oh, lightning in a bottle. Oh, the Black female voice of conservatism, whatever, right? And then she does this, right? Just like the Meghan Markle, right? We have a biracial American woman, whatever, half Black, whatever you want to say, marrying into the British royal family. And she's not even the first biracial person or the first person of color, even though I hate that term, to marry into the British royal family, because one of the lesser royals' kids or something like that has a son-in-law who's Maori. Yeah. Yeah. So like, we already have that. All right. And so like, the first half Black, whatever, woman marrying into the British royal family has to come and bring a tornado with her. It can't just be like, every time I look at Meghan Markle, I just think to myself, like, you cut off your nose to spite your face. Even though a lot of people don't say that. To me, it's just, and I'm sorry if people feel like I'm taking over the show because I've been talking for a while, but nobody's stopping me though. But literally, like, it is just crazy to me that I'm like, dude, if it was me, if I was a duchess or whatever, any title, a countess, baroness, or the wife of an earl, whoever, whatever, there's so much good to be done. Like, just think about, like, she left the royal family to go sit on Oprah's couch, but Oprah said, oh, I wanted to interview you before, but the time, and Meghan said, yeah, but the timing wasn't right. As in, she wanted to interview her when she got engaged, but she couldn't spill any tea on the royal family or say anything negative. So she's like, okay, let's push that aside and wait for another time. She would have been not necessarily the next Catherine, but like, people would have respected her. Because when Catherine first got into the family, people they were not really like, they were excited, but then there were people who were just like, all right, whatever. Like, the tabloids here in America about her were so bad, but then like people
in the UK were even worse.
Yes, yeah, because like I literally did a collage of the tabloids, just I think mostly in America, of what people were saying about Catherine for years. Oh, the Queen doesn't like her. She's anorexic and alone. William abandoned her. Boo, 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 yada, yada, yada. Pregnant with twins and collapsing in the palace. That's what they were saying on the cover of the magazines here every single week. Because I would go to the grocery store and be like, oh, damn, it's going on like that. Because back then I was not really watching. I was like, oh, what? But over time, of course, people warmed to her, and she proved herself as the Duchess of Cambridge. And then it just showed, okay, I'm not going to be over here in front of the cameras. I'm not going to be calling the paparazzi on myself. I'm here to do the job and support my husband and support my family. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's Harry and Meghan were like made for each other, because they say water seeks its own level. And for me, when I read Spare and Harry said he knew Meghan was like some kind of genius when she said she was in her Eat, Pray, Love era, and he was like, what's that? And she's like, oh, it's a book about like self-discovery and traveling. And he's like, oh my God, I never heard of that. But he acted like she was like doing molecular science or something. Like she was so smart just because she read a book and traveled. Like, that book is about a woman who divorces her husband and it's just like, I'm not feeling this anymore. And then just goes around to Thailand or wherever she goes, Italy or whatever, just whatever. But it became a whole, like, you need to be in your Eat, Pray, Love era of self-discovery. Like, okay. And Harry was like, wow, like, who was this woman? She's so smart. She leaves her luggage at Soho House. Wow.
Yeah, they could have done some really good work, but they were too focused on themselves and
like unbelievably so. Like unbelievably so. Like extreme. Like it's so extreme that it's like mind-boggling. You had a taxpayer-funded wedding. You had a taxpayer-funded life. Even if you went to go buy a croissant, you had a convoy of policemen come with you. You had access to, like, guys, could you imagine me marrying like the French equivalent of Prince Harry, even though they don't have a royal family over there technically, and like having the world at my fingertips, or like the French world at my fingertips, and being well respected and going to dinners with Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel Macron and whatever I'm doing. And I'm just like, yeah, it's so hard being dressed by Coco Chanel, and like it's so hard, having to go to a charity and shake hands, and it's so hard. And
I wanted to show this to you, actually. Speaking about other Black conservatives, Candace, in my opinion, is not for women. She really isn't. And I think this is a classic example. What she did to Kimberly Klacik. Have you heard of Kimberly?
I heard about all that drama in real time, but we can.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you this is her ad that she did for Baltimore. And I thought, when I saw this ad, I thought, wow, this is great.
Democrats think Black people are stupid. They think they can control us forever, that we won't demand better, and that we'll keep voting for them forever, despite what they've done to our families and our communities. Are they right? I'm Kim Klacik, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about Black lives. All Black lives matter. Our communities matter. Baltimore matters. And Black people don't have to vote Democrat.
So I think that was posted in 2020 and Trump reshared it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, wow, this is going to be someone, you know, up and coming, another female Black conservative. And there was some, you know, buzz about that.
Yeah. That ad went like viral. Yeah.
At Baltimore. So, you know, the chances of her winning, as Candace said, was basically next to none. But there was still some excitement about another Black female conservative. But
yeah, I mean, we don't know if she could have not won. Like, we don't know that because Candace jumped out of the cut and was like, "Oh, she's a fraud, campaign funds, and just destroyed her." Like,
yeah, and basically on the basis of why is she running for Baltimore, because she knows she's not going to win. So all this money she's collecting, she tried to basically disparage her for raising money for her campaign. For a campaign that she apparently knew she wasn't going to win, but she was pocketing the money. These were the sort of allegations that Candace came out with. And it completely just like ruined it for me. Yeah. And I know a lot of people, and there was a whole court case. So I was talking yesterday about another podcaster who was speaking about Candace's attitude towards other Black female conservatives, and it wasn't good. And I found it now. It's April Chapman. Don't know if you've heard of April Chapman.
Does she have short hair?
Brexit.
I follow her.
Quit. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Does she have short hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has like a pink background.
Yes, very.
Yeah. I follow her. Yeah.
What you had to say about that whole thing?
Clearly, we are all free to change our minds. I've been very transparent. I absolutely adored Candace Owens. Everybody knows I used to be a part of Blexic. I was assistant state director in the Georgia, and I was also I was a state advisor and assistant state director. Held two positions. Adored her. But I've also made it clear that I left Blexic because I didn't appreciate the vileness that came out of her mouth during the 2020 election, when there were so many beautiful Black women running for office down here in Atlanta, up in Baltimore. I mean, it was everywhere. It was Black conservatives galore. I'm not here to adjudicate if some of them were EBT Republicans or not. We were just in that moment. This was a good thing. You know what Candace did? While all of us were out here foot soldiering for her at the grassroots level, going to places that she can't step her foot in because she has no credibility in those communities, she had the nerve to say, I don't know why all of these Black conservatives are running in these unwinnable districts. And she went after one particular Black conservative, Kim Klacik, who I've met once or twice, took a picture with my kids, sweet as pie. They never did nothing to nobody. Candace attacked that woman for no reason, just because she was mad. Like, Kim put out a super hot campaign video, got the attention of everyone. The EBT Republican couldn't handle it. So she attacked Kim. And I'm sitting serving in this organization. I'm like, so how does this work? Are you expecting me to siphon numbers from the Democrat Party and you're out here saying stuff like this? Did we expect all those Black conservative women to win? No, but they had the courage to try. And I supported every single last one of them and resigned from Blexic for that reason. I said, I still support the mission of what y'all are doing. Love y'all. I'll come to your events, but I don't want to serve in leadership anymore.
Yeah, so she left Blexic because of that, because she saw she wasn't supportive of other women, in particular other Black women. So it's not just white blonde women that she has an issue with. Anybody who wants to join the field that she believes belongs to her, I guess she feels threatened by other up-and-coming Black conservatives.
But the thing about it is she's in her own lane. She does podcasts and public speaking. She's not running for office. You know what I mean? She's not a politician. So to me, it doesn't make sense how, okay, if you're a filmmaker That's perfectly fine. I do animation. I'm working on a short animated film. Even if you were an animator too, which as far as I know you're not, doesn't matter. No, there's enough room for 1 million other Black female animators. It's not to say that I have to be the Black female Walt Disney and nobody else can be even interested in art. If you're a painter, that has nothing to do with me or my art. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like she's like, oh no, I'm literally the only one. Any conservatism on the Black side needs to be me.
Yeah, that seems to be clearly that was her attitude. If she's running off every other Black female conservative. Oh, Tumi seems to have frozen. Well, we'll watch another. We'll wait for them to come back. But yeah, so I don't see her as somebody who is for women. I don't think she's happy for other women in general if she feels threatened by them in any way. And I think the way she's treating Erica is a classic example of that. The way she has treated other Black female conservatives is an example of that. And even, I'll go back to this again, I'm not letting it go. The fact that she doxed a victim and concealed the name of the sex offender tells you all you need to know about her. She's interviewing Harvey Weinstein, basically trying to portray these predators as the victims and throwing the women under the bus. So I'm not buying this whole, I'm looking out for trafficking victims. That's how I see it. Tumi's back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My computer, like literally the Wi-Fi cut out. It was so annoying.
Oh, no problem. Jewel, when she's back, I'll add her again. But I was just talking about, so her recent podcast, it did receive a lot of backlash because she was showing footage of the shooting. And she was saying that it's so important to show this angle, that the public need to see it, even though people have said they've seen this before.
I just feel like she's literally going through something mental severely. Like it's at this point, it's not even funny anymore. Not that it was ever funny, but it's just like, I think she needs some sort of like intervention of people who love, like, I don't understand why no one is saying anything. Like, to me, that's the scary part. Or if they are saying anything, maybe she's just like, oh, I don't care. Like, this is how we bring home money. You know, is it that with George Farmer that he's just like, all right, whatever, this is our bread and butter or what? Like, because if you're making millions of dollars per stream, then I guess why would you then say anything? I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I think as long as there's people who defend her actions, she's gonna be spurred on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she sees the numbers and she's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. My Wi-Fi is working on my computer again because StreamYard on the app makes me look like, it makes my face look crazy. Hold on, wait.
I'll play this.
Yeah, I feel that.
So she just showed footage of the back of Charlie's head on the day of the shooting, a different angle. And apparently she kept repeating the footage, rewinding it, pausing it. And people were saying that her face just looked. Oh, there's two. Wait a minute.
Yeah. I'll disconnect from the other one because I was connected on my phone too.
People were saying that she didn't even flinch, like she's just watching it over and over again, and her facial expression, didn't even change. It's like it doesn't even bother her.
Affect her. Watching
this footage, and this is the reason she wanted to show it.
It is our duty to share that with the public, and because our officials, the feds, politicians, they failed us. They have been so dishonest. This has been the year of really seeing how it really operates inside of DC. Everyone is disgusting left and right. And obviously there are a few exceptions, but altogether it's just a place of filth, DC. It's a place of filth.
Can you pause it
really do believe that they have.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that she just watches this 24/7, like all the time, and just like, you know, those people who, you know how like when you and your friends will have a situation that's going on and then you talk about it from different angles. Do you think that like that's what she's basically doing, that with everyone that she knows, she's just like, okay, wait, what about this? Because I mean, there were people who were at, when it first happened, they're like, okay, well, we think that it was a his microphone exploded. Then it was, you know, it's too far away, the angle is too far away for him to get hit from that far, from someone who's not a trained, you know, army sniper. Then it's, there was a trap door underneath where somebody came in under the trap door. So like, do you think that there's literally like, that's what she's doing? Like her group chats probably go crazy because she's probably just like texting people 24/7, like, okay, but what about this? I swear, look at this one. This is different now. And then look at this. It's like,
well, she said herself that she has seen the shooting from all different angles and she studied the footage and she wants more footage. When I heard her say that, I thought, wow, that doesn't sound healthy.
No, it's not healthy at all.
Sick fixation. And you're not the Utah police. Like, what do you do?
Yeah. And you're not in the military either. So what do you know about? Because like even, well, like Brendan Tatum did a video about how like the basically like if the bullet with the force that it was going at and blah blah blah, but he's an ex-police officer who had to obviously train in different guns. I don't know if he was in the military, but he for sure has that background, and also being in the police force, having to train with different firearms and learn about the force of what could actually kill somebody going this velocity, whatever it is, you know. So he has more knowledge because of his profession, his previous profession. But yeah, it's just,
she was talking about there was no exit wound, and
yeah, I heard all those.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I think she, from what her own admission, she has she's fixated on watching the footage, which I question why would you want to do that if this is your friend? I haven't even seen the full video. I saw it from like a distance when I was going on X after I got a text message saying he had been shot. I went on X and I saw some footage and I wanted to immediately come off it.
Yeah,
I watched it and it was from a very far distance, but apparently there's another video where it's close up, and that's
I unfortunately I saw the close-up video because an account that I followed posted it, and they're like, oh, it's so important to see this type of stuff, and I was sick. Like, it was just sick. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this one comment. Someone named Diana Vander Kloot 4322 said, Charlie and Candace were the closest of friends, like siblings, long before Erica. She was heartbroken when Charlie died and is sticking up for her departed friend. She may know things that we did not. It's been 6 months since Charlie passed away, and what does she know that we don't know? What's one thing that she has said that is obviously, that's been proven by the police, the FBI, whoever, his family, that we don't know? Because everything that she said has been, like I said before, days of our lives. Oh, tune in next week because this week we saw the Egyptian planes. Next week we got a threat from this office, but it's her lawyer's office. Next we got this and that, and da 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 da. And yes, exactly. David Prince said, no, they were not. I didn't care for her. Their tag team exposes. She would step on his lines. Also, she thought that she was Turning Point. She told President Trump she should be the vice president when he ran for office in 2025. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
And she was serious about that. What makes her think that she should be a VP? For what? Because she has a podcast? Because she worked for PragerU? No offense to PragerU or the Daily Wire or whoever. But that's like Ben Shapiro saying, oh, I should be VP. Michael Knowles saying I should be a VP. Alex Jones saying I should be a vice president. For what? Literally for what? Yes, it's cool and stuff and brave or whatever that you know, talk about these topics. But for what? Other than being a podcaster. Exactly. Sarah said it because she's a narcissist. Yes, but I'm saying that if just talking about topics made you worthy of a position, that means that I should be a duchess of the UK because I talk about Meghan Markle. We should all be British peers and lords and whatever. I should be knighted by Prince William because I talk about Meghan Markle. No.
I am not convinced that they were friends in the latter stages of Charlie's life.
And also from eyewitness reports of people who actually know things that we don't know are the people like Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, Tim Pool, all of the podcasters who hang out and all worked for the same places. They all talk about how Candace actually hated Charlie and was talking trash about him every chance she could get. And basically thought that she was better than him. And yeah.
And this is Mark Meckler. This is what he had to say. He said, Charlie, this is for you. I'm not going to sit by idly while Candace slimes your widow. I don't usually reveal personal conversations online, and I've been very open that I think Candace Owens is evil. But what I've never said is that Charlie told me the same thing. Personally, this isn't something I heard from someone else, nor something about which I am surmising. He said it to me personally on one of our hunting trips. Candace and Charlie were not friends. He considered her crazy, mean, unpredictable, full stop. So all of you Candace fans, this is what you are supporting.
Wow.
And yeah, he got some backlash saying that, or people saying, you know, I don't believe you or whatever. I'm not a Candace fan, but nothing Erica has done since the memorial is normal. Why doesn't anyone address that? Who talks about merch following a memorial service? She's the happiest widow I've ever seen. And Mark said, ever had your spouse, who is the inspirational leader of a movement, murdered? Ever led a national movement or been married to someone who does? Didn't think so. I lead a national organization and my wife works with me. I'd want her to do exactly what Erica has done, stand strong, step up and lead. And yes, that means continuing to do everything, including merch sales. You cannot begin to understand. So
and also, like, okay, when you think about that, she's the happiest widow she's ever seen. We've seen Erica almost break down crying in front of us multiple times, every time she talks about him. But she also understands she's in a position like Jackie Kennedy, for example, Martin Luther King's widow, people like that, Jesus's disciples. And I'm not comparing Charlie to Jesus, but I'm saying that in a position where once the person passes, you cannot just sit in the house and grieve. You have a mission. You literally have a mission that they were put on this earth to do, and you have to follow in their footsteps. Jesus's disciples, and even people who didn't believe in him, watched him die and hang on the cross for 6 hours after being beaten to a beating that would have killed most people, right? He was tortured to death in front of their own eyes. His own mother watched him go through that. 3 days later, even if he did rise from the dead, but what I'm saying is 3 days later, they're still grieving, they're still in shock. But then he gets up from the grave and is like, psych. Psych, I'm alive. You have to go. Like, you have to go preach, right? Go preach the gospel. Like technically it was 40 days after the fact, whatever it was. And literally, like, think about the trauma that his followers went through. Like, being ostracized by their family, their friends, all that kind of stuff for 3 years while following him, leaving their lives and families behind to follow Jesus and talk and preach. And it was cool, it was exciting, but it also was a lot to become nomadic people and then watch the person who brought you from your normal life into this new life and is doing miracles and standing up to speaking truth to power literally die like that, be arrested in a fake trial and then be put to death. And then 3 days later, you're literally like so messed up from what you just witnessed. And then you're like, oh, wait, he's alive. And then it's like, oh, wait, now we have to leave our country and go to the whole world, the whole known world at the time, and talk about this. Like, I think it's good there wasn't psychology in the old days because If there was psychology in the old days, man, I don't think the history would happen the way it happened, because all the psychologists would have been like, wait, you're traumatized. This is a trauma response. You have PTSD. Stop it. I'm glad we have psychology now. But what I'm saying is that Erica had to literally just like, I don't want to say get it together, because I'm sure that when she's alone and there's no cameras and she doesn't have to do interviews, and also remember, Charlie had just written a book and she had to go and talk about it and all that kind of stuff. And the president is inviting her places and all this stuff. So like, she's not just I don't want to say it this way, a regular widow who has the time to just stop. And even if she did say, okay, I'm going to stop and grieve for the first year and then I'll come out and talk about it, in a way, it's like, that's what they want. That's what her enemies want, right? On the left and the right. They want her to just disappear. They want Turning Point USA to disappear. They want the conservative movement to disappear. Just like when Trump lost in 2020. People thought, oh, it's the end. It's the end of Trump. It's the end of MAGA. It's the end of the Republican Party. We're going to be Democrats in office for the next 1,000 years. They thought it was over, right? And it was even to the point where there were conservative, I saw this in real time, where conservative influences were literally saying, oh, DeSantis is going to be the next president because Trump is a loser. And whatchamacallit, they called him Daddy DeSantis. And I was like, you guys are so, like, wow. You guys are so, like, it's like when your friend loses their job and your friend was a generous person, and like, let's say you were we would go out to dinner and then you were like, oh, I'll pay. And I have a job, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice of you. You're so sweet. And then when you lose your job because times are hard and the company's downsizing, then I'm like, oh, Irene, you need to get your money up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't hang out with you because you're not motivated. You should be applying to 20,000 jobs a day. I'm jumping ship because
Yes, I have to agree with this, Sarah. Busyness puts grief in a weird box in your head of necessity. That's what happened to me when I lost my dad, and I will still have to work through it. It's super hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I lost my dad this year as well, in September, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, making videos, I loved continuing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely took time, away as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, even Erica Kirk said that if I didn't have this, I'd probably be on the floor crying in the corner.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
she
of course
said publicly that continuing to, do what she's doing is helping her in her grief.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who manage their grief that way as well. Mm-hmm. And, there's people in the comments, I guess there's like a Candace fan in the comments saying her tears aren't real, she's fake, and all of this.
So is Candace's grief real? So-called grief? Is it real? But she's just like, I have the #1 podcast, you guys. Yay. Is that real?
Week. Everything that you don't like about Erica doesn't validate Candace and the nonsense she is spewing. I'm sorry. Everything you don't like about how Erica is grieving isn't evidence or proof to the allegations that Candace is making that she is somehow involved in her husband's demise.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Demand more from Candace, because you people are not demanding anything from her.
Yeah.
She gives you crumbs, scraps, and you're like eating it up and lapping onto it like there's some, amazing revelation. It isn't.
And if she was just an obscure, like, okay, I have nowhere near, I probably have like 1% of the following that Candace has. If it was me making videos about it, no one would be watching it. They'd be like, yo, get this girl into a mental institution.
There would be, if it was me, they'll be saying this is some ranting, raving lunatic on the internet.
Yeah.
But because she has millions of followers, she is who she is.
And they would also call you racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and say you hate white women or something like that. But because it's Candace who, okay, we have her in pictures and videos with Charlie and she was doing speeches with Charlie and blah, 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 then all of a sudden that gives it the credence that it wouldn't have had before, But still, it's not right. That doesn't make it right, because it's not.
So I want to play Lisa here. She's debunking the whole Epstein and Erica link that Candace seems desperate.
Oh God.
I was going to play a clip of Candace going on about it, but I'll just go to Lisa because
thank
you
you.
heard it before.
Not even through the entire Candace episode for tonight, but I had to stop to make this video because I have to show you guys just how nefarious these connections and links that she's making to Erica Kirk are. And
sorry, could you guys hear that properly?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just how much proof this is that she knows exactly what she is doing, because this is such low tier journalism that it is not even funny.
Let's begin with an interesting update. So yesterday and the day before, we began breaking the news story, and in particular, Erica's involvement with Epstein's favorite modeling agency, Faith Kate's Next Modeling Management, a Rothschild spinout. We broke a story that her dealings with them involved real estate in some capacity. Erica Frantzwey was, as we were told, the point person to the firm when it came to housing young models. More specifically, Erica dealt with apartments in a white building. They had remembered that that white building was located somewhere near 68th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. Check out this article, which was published by the New York Post. It reads, in part, "Exposed," this is the title, "inside the New York City condo building where Jeffrey Epstein secretly kept his underage victims." Elsewhere in the article, we learned that, quote, one victim had previously described arriving at the building and being shown a small apartment stocked with domestic comforts. She says, "I remember the apartment clearly," she said in her 2022 account. "It was relatively small, and there was Dannon yogurt in the fridge and a basket of fruit and cookies on the counter."
Something told me to go find that New York Post article that she was showing. And here's the section of that article that she showed with the anonymous quote from a victim where she's describing this modeling apartment, right? You see how part of that is in red? That means that it's a clickable link. That means it's going to take you to another article that normally is going to give you more details. Here's the article that it takes you to. It in fact brings you to this Daily Mail article. And that's where you find out that the victim that's being quoted in the New York Post article is in fact Teresa Helm, who is now 42 years old, who describes that these events happened with Epstein in 2002 when she was 22 years old. Erica Kirk was born in 1988. So in 2002, depending on the time of year, she was 13 or possibly 14 years old, living in Arizona and nowhere near New York City. Candace Owens is an absolute fraud. There is no way that someone with the platform that Candace has and the amount of people that she has working for her to do research would not be able to make the simple connection that I just did. I have no college degree. I have no journalism experience at all. I simply have a brain and common sense in my head, and I was able to figure this out, which tells me that she is doing this fully and completely aware that it is deceptive reporting. She knows exactly what she's doing. Stop falling for it.
And you know, Irene, this is what I despise about modern day so-called journalism. People who think that they're truthers, whatever, right? And that's why it drives me crazy when people say, for example, that I hate Meghan Markle. When people say that, I'm like, what have I ever said or done that is hate? She will say to Oprah, I barely left the house while pregnant. I will show a slideshow of her going and coming every single time during her pregnancy with Archie, right? She'll say, oh, I barely wore color while I was in the royal family because you can't match with the senior members. I will show pictures of senior members of the royal family going back to Diana, Princess Anne, matching their clothes in family photos, even Princess Margaret. How is that hatred? And that's actual journalism, because an actual journalist will say, okay, let me actually pull the tape up. Let me actually look at actual source material to see if what she's saying corroborates with the reality. If you say senior members of the royal family are not allowed to wear matching colors during royal engagements, but I can pull up pictures of Princess Diana, Princess Anne, Princess Margaret, Catherine, Zara Phillips, Zara Tyndall, whatever her last name, whatever her last name, Zara, anybody and everybody, whoever it is, wearing matching colors. And then all of a sudden Megan comes along and says, no, I don't, I'm going to wear beige. Wear beige proudly. Wear black proudly. Wear navy blue proudly. Wear what you like to wear proudly. But do not come up with a fake reason as to why you say, oh, this is why I did this. Just say, oh, I like to wear neutrals. Why is it that I can pull up so many photos of you before you even met Harry wearing beige? Because you like it. Just say that you like it. It's okay. I like beige. I like pink. I like whatever. If I was a Duchess, they'd say, why is she wearing pink every day? Because I love pink. It's my favorite color. I love it. I don't get tired of pink. I could wear 50 Shades of Pink and literally not get tired. So just own it. But the problem is she does not own anything. It's always, oh, this is the reason why I was forced. Oh, I wearing wearing pantyhose wasn't really authentic to me. But how come I could pull up a picture from 2013 from her old Instagram where she had a pack of pantyhose in her hand, holding it like this, and took a picture of it on her iPhone and said, oh, I'm doing a dress rehearsal for a movie that I'm in. And had a pack of pantyhose. So it was not authentic when you had to do it for acting on Suits or whatever you were acting on. It was not authentic then. Did you tell the directors, oh, a woman working in corporate America in 2012 wouldn't be wearing stockings? I'd write them out of the script. And nowadays, pantyhose are not like the ones that our mothers wore in the 80s. They're so sheer nowadays, you can't even tell a woman is wearing stockings. Like, you literally cannot tell until she takes them off. Because they have them in different colors, ones that match your skin tone. Like, that's the thing that drives me crazy, because journalists in 6 years, they have not pushed back against anything that she says. Nobody, and I'm sorry to be getting mad, but I get upset because you mean to tell me ABC, CNN, MSNBC, freaking The View, BBC, nobody on Sky News, whoever, I don't know, all these news stations, nobody on earth other than like 20 people who make Meghan Markle videos on YouTube can actually say, oh, here's a lot of pictures of her wearing neutrals from 2016 and previously. Here's pictures from her old Instagram. Here's her going out of the house while pregnant. Here, every single thing that she said on the Couch with Oprah was a lie. It was all not true. It was fake.
She said they took her passport, but she was doing all these international trips.
How come nobody can say that though? Why? It's like they were scared. It's like they were scared to say anything that was like contrary to what she said.
I always thought it's because they didn't want to be accused of being racist.
But how is it racist? Racist means I don't like you because you're black. Racist means I don't like you because you're white. Racist means I don't like you because you're Chinese. I don't like Asian people. Right? Racist means I don't like Asians. Get them out of my face. I don't want anything to do with Asian people. I don't want Asian neighbors. I want to stay in a neighborhood where there is no Asian people. That's what racist means. Racist does not mean, Tumi said pink is her favorite color, but when she posted a closet tour, nothing was pink. Tumi said that pink is her favorite color, but her room is all black. The curtains are black. The clothes are black. The sheets are black. There's nothing pink in her whole wardrobe. That's not racist. That has nothing to do with my race. It has to do with the words that came out of my mouth. So can we be civil? Oh my God. Can we be for real? Like, can we literally be like, can we actually like use this? Can we use our noggins?
Oh, wait a minute, Tumi. I'm being interrupted.
Okay, it's fine.
Let me say this. This is another thing that people are outraged about, what Candace is doing.
Talk about the Sabbath all day long. Well,
yeah, I'll play this and then I'll be back in a minute.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, how do I get out of here?
Hello? Hello?
I could talk about the Sabbath all day long. Well, for me personally, I work like crazy for 6 days. On Friday night, even Sunday morning, I turn my phone off and I try to stop. I try to make it distinct. I try to make it different. It's where I do my best thinking. It's where I do my best time with my family. And again, this kind of goes back to, okay, we're trying to create all this new stuff. Like, wow, we're gonna have this new technological innovation. We're gonna have this vaccine, and we're gonna be able to solve this with quantum mechanics and quantum computing. And I'm kind of like, honestly, something was told to us on Sinai that we shouldn't forget. That like, you shouldn't work for 7 days. In the retelling of the 10 Commandments in the book of Deuteronomy, the only difference of the retelling of the 10 Commandments is when Moses says, hey, you shouldn't work 7 days because you're no longer a slave. What Moses is saying is like, only slaves work for 7 days, actually. And we in the West have kind of been slaves to our work. And I say this as a free market capitalist. That's not good. It's making us depressed. It's making us anxious. And all of you have the agency to disconnect from that, to make a choice to no longer have to be subservient to the ever more, next text, next alert, next email, next WhatsApp message. It's also a phenomenal civilizational preserving tool. It's worked for the Jews. They've been kicked out of a lot of countries, and a lot of people have hated the Jews, including right now. And they're thriving, and they're growing, and they continue. I think God has given us a preservative for a civilization, and I believe it is the Sabbath.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Turn off your phone. Enjoy your family.
I also want to say to you guys, if you want to support us, you can support us. There's new merch available on the website. This is my fave. You're going to love this. Daddy's Home, Shabbat Shalom. We're doing this for Blake. We deeply upset him, and we felt like we wanted to make amends with our refusal to acknowledge how much Shabbat Shalom is real and loved. Daddy's Home, Shabbat Shalom, crew necks. And we might even start selling dreidels. I don't know right now. We might start selling dreidels.
Joker.
And latkes online.
I just think she's a fraud.
No, I mean, first of all, like, it's actually crazy because I was thinking yesterday about the Sabbath and how, like, we have weekends, but the idea of the Sabbath that God told the Israelites to follow, right? I think it's a beautiful concept. You shut off your phone. Well, now we have phones, but you shut off your phones. You spend time with your family. You read a book. It's literally just from Friday evening to Saturday evening. You just unplug. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? And isn't that the first commandment? Remember the Sabbath, or one of the, maybe not the first. Okay, the first one is to have no idols. Sorry, but then one of them is remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And it was to the point where the Pharisees were mad at Jesus for healing a man on the Sabbath because they're like, you're working. And he's like, okay, well, if your donkey fell into a pit, wouldn't you help it on the Sabbath, or would you just leave it there all day and all night, right? So obviously him being the Son of God was like, let me, heal somebody from their suffering, even if it's the Sabbath. Good for him. But it's just like, I don't even, also, somebody asked if we were talking about if Candace got backlash. Yeah, we've been talking about it for an hour. Sorry, we've been jumping from topic to topic. But what is wrong with spending time with your family and just unplugging for one day? Literally one day. Yes, it was the Jews who created Sabbath. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel created the Sabbath and told everyone, remember this day and keep it holy. So if someone wants to say Shabbat Shalom or good Sabbath, why are you so pressed? What is it? This deep hatred, like this extremely deep hatred for. Isn't she a Catholic? We wouldn't have Roman Catholicism if it wasn't for the Jews, because we wouldn't have the first part of the Bible.
And Jesus, Torah. Sabbath is for man, not man. Yes, Sabbath.
Exactly, and Jesus was a Jew.
It's not. And obviously. Yes.
Did you watch Joshua Carr, please? Did you have a chance to watch it?
Yes, I did. And he's got another one coming out, apparently, about how Candace allegedly concocts receipts. Yes. So I'm very curious about that. I don't know if that's out yet. So Joshua Carr, I don't know if you're aware of him, Tumi. He's been doing interested.
Let me look up his YouTube because I think I know who you're talking about. Give me 1 second.
And I have actually watched these videos before. I recognize him now. Yeah. So I've subscribed, and I watched the
Candace
first.
was just shameless. I'm disappointed in her. I'm really disappointed in Candace. I'm disappointed that she's carrying on like this. She's joined the hate Jews hate train to make money, and it's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's disgusting because if someone does it to her as a Black person, she's not going to like it.
Exactly.
First of all, Black people are the most disrespected people in the whole world. So if you know and you've experienced that, and you say that you have actually had issues when you were in high school and they were racist to you, and all the stories that she was peddling that time to become somebody, why would you do the same thing to other people?
Exactly.
Having experienced it, why do you think it's okay to do it to other people? Why make a mockery of other people's religion? Why attack Erica? Sorry, Tumi. Why attack Erica? Why make everything Erica's fault? Now she's creating another narrative that Erica somehow had dealings with J.E. You see? So she wants to tear this woman down. And shame on all those people who come on my timeline. I don't know if they come on your timeline and say, oh, so Candace is the truth. Candace is not the truth.
And imagine if, God forbid, anyone who has a spouse, right? I don't have a spouse. I want a spouse. But anyways, God forbid anybody who has a spouse, if you passed away suddenly, tragically, whatever it was, even if it was just a car accident or whatever, and your friend, your best friend, your so-called best friend went on the attack mode, or your spouse's best friend went on the attack mode about you. Like, I know that in heaven there's no pain, there's no suffering, but like, I'm sure that Charlie feels like, wow, like literally wow.
And his children as well, because the internet's forever.
Yeah.
And even Candace's children.
Yeah.
They're going to look back and see what their mum was doing, attacking someone whose husband just died.
Yeah, it's like, this is
2 kids.
So odd. And in a perfect world, wouldn't Erica's kids and and Candace's kids be friends and be hanging out? And like, what if they were besties or wanted to be friends? And oh no, you can't hang out with her.
Not necessarily to me.
Yeah.
Apparently, Candace and Charlie were not that close.
Yeah, I mean that's what people are saying now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she it's a grift, and I think she's hating on Erica because she knows the potential of Turning Point USA. And because she was part of the history, she was part of the creation when Charlie was starting it up. And she knows that it's a money making, because with Candace, it's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about money. So she's busy counting Erica's coins. That's why she said to people not to donate to Turning Point USA.
Well, Turning Point actually started in 2012. But it really took off, of course, during when Trump was running for office the first time. And really, I first heard about Turning Point when was it? Well, yeah, around that time. But like 2018 was like Candace's peak of, you know, going to school, doing all the debates and the public speaking and all that kind of stuff. So she was riding high, you know, back then. But she was nowhere near Charlie when it first started. But yeah, so and like
founding fathers,
like Dom Lucre said that that Blexit was a domain name that was already owned by Charlie and Turning Point 5 years before Candace even joined. But of course, white people could not start an organization, like head the organization and be the face of an organization saying, oh, Black people need to leave the Democrat Party. It wouldn't look right. So Candace just came around at a perfect time, right? So yeah.
But the what I just showed you, the thing that gets me is the whole daddy's coming home merch that she's released.
No, it's sick. It's it's literally sick. It's sick, and it's like, can we just say it? Like, I know Erica said it and people got mad, but like, someone died. literally someone lost their life in front of us all, like for public speaking, guys. Like he was not like an army warlord. Like he was not a Genghis Khan type of person. Like he was talking. He was literally talking what we're doing right now. Imagine somebody literally trying to murk me because you talk about Megan. Pew. Like what?
He was at a college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone who was there, I feel so bad for them who witnessed that. Because I saw an angle of the video that made me want to throw up. So just imagine the people who are there. Like they'll never be the same.
Yeah.
And
now it's been turned into conspiracy fodder.
Like, I don't know how people even view it as tea. Like, it's not, guys, this is not like, this was your friend, or let's say coworker, your coworker.
Yeah, but he got rid of her, though, because she was trying to take over his business.
I understand that part, but like...
So she's very resentful. She knows what she's doing. She's pretending like she's doing this because Charlie was this dear friend of hers and she loved him so much. She loved him more than the wife. And she is the real grieving widow. And Erica is the person that stole Charlie away from her. But the truth is, she is resentful that Charlie got rid of her. She's resentful that Charlie saw her coming and said, this lady is going to try and take over my business, what I've started. I need to end this relationship ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did, she became spiteful, envious, and decided to tear every single thing that he's worked hard for apart. And shame on Megyn Kelly. I'm sorry. I do not like Ben Shapiro because he said some very controversial things. I don't hate him, but I don't like his views.
Yeah,
however, I
I
agree with how he is calling Megyn Kelly out, because it's almost as if Megyn Kelly is scared of Candace Owens.
Yeah.
And I think she's scared of Candace Owens because the moment she says anything, you remember they were going back and forth before they became friends. Because when she did the Bridget Macron series, what's the name? Megyn Kelly said that it was a bit all over the place. When she did her review, I watched it. She said it was all over the place. She didn't really understand it. And Candace responded back to her on X, saying, obviously, you can't watch that clip and say it's all over the place because you haven't seen the whole thing. So eventually, they made peace and Megyn Kelly backtracked. But I think
people are scared of her
being hypocritical, because if she's not being hypocritical, she will stand on business. Listen, if I'm friends with you and I see you doing things that I don't like, I will tell you. I don't know how to pretend. I will tell you, look, I like you, you're my girl, but this thing you're doing is not it.
And as a friend, you're supposed to be the voice of reason. You are someone has to be the person to say, okay, this is getting a bit out of line here, Tumi. There has to be somebody who says that, because you can't all be yes men and just say, oh, keep going, sis. I agree.
Have you
when
seen,
you sound crazy?
Have you seen a clip circulating about an old clip of Megyn where she's supporting this whole deal of trans kids? And people are saying, yeah, it's an old clip. And this is how I'll show it to you quickly. It's just 43 seconds.
People with me on stage right now are all transgender kids who want others to know it is possible to transition socially with love and support and acceptance within a family and a community. Please welcome 16-year-old Nicole, 12-year-old Daniel, 14-year-old Gia, 15-year-old Landon, and 13-year-old Stella. Their parents are also here. Morning, everyone. Morning. Also joining me in our special audience is Gira Goldstein, who's a transgender woman who is the co-founder, along with Jen Grosslandler, who you just met, of the Gender Cool Project, a new movement that is being launched today. We're going to tell you all about it, and it's actually really important. So, all right, welcome to you all. Everybody nervous? Everyone sufficiently nervous? Okay. People with me on stage right now are all
she had a whole segment, on trans kids.
So if you, I'm sorry to say this, but if you see the little logo on the thing when she was talking, it was a show that was hosted by NBC. right? And I saw this YouTuber who did a deep dive about Hollywood and funding, and they basically talked about how the people who, like, when you watch a movie and you're like, this movie was trash, and you look it up and they're like, oh, the budget was 200 million. You're like, who put 200 million dollars into this movie? But literally there's a company, I cannot tell you the name of it right now. I'm so sorry, guys, because it's not like I have notes sitting right here next to me. But there was basically a company, and all of Hollywood got a memo in like 2020 or one of those times where they said they had a whole like dossier of this is what you need to put into your shows and movies. On the cast and crew, you need this many trans people, this many LGBTQ plus whatever people on the, literally the people who hold the boom mics. They told them every single area of production, not just, oh, the characters in the show, of production. You need this many writers that are this. You need this many people of color that are that. You need this many blah, 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 blah. You need this many people in the show that are this, that, and that. And if you don't do it like this, you're not getting funding. You're not, we are not. And these, let's say these are people who have like $1 trillion in money. And they're like, okay, we'll give you $200 million here, $300 million there, $120 million there. So people like, let's say Disney, Nickelodeon, whoever, yeah, they have their own money, but also funding makes the world go round. All of these shows sponsored by Pfizer, sponsored by this, sponsored by that, sponsored by this, that, and the fourth, sponsored by the companies that own the companies that own the companies, right? So therefore, all of these people, if I'm trying to make a movie, yeah, I do need the $60 million. Yes, I do, because I can't fund it myself, okay? And if that's the rules, that okay, to get the $120 million, that's what I need to do, then that's why every time, when one day we woke up and the world was super duper woke. Because even if you knew these people did not agree with this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but it's literally because they all got the dossier. I have to find that video and I'll send it to you guys. Now I'm going to get annoyed if I don't find it. So give me 1 second. I'll disappear and then find it and then send it to you, because they expose it all, how literally the people in Hollywood, I don't know if they're whistleblowers or what, but they got the dossier that imagine the TV shows. Some of the things these people talk about, you're like, are you guys serious right now? Like, you don't have these views, but it's literally, and it's like these celebrities sometimes look like hostages who are being forced to read off a cue card because they don't agree with this stuff. They know they don't in their personal lives, but they have to be down with the get down on the TV because the show is literally sponsored by such and such and such, who said, we're not going to give you this advertisement unless you talk about this. And if you don't talk about this, it's over. We're pulling $300 million out of the budget. And they're like, okay, we won't have a show then. They need the sponsor. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me disappear and you guys talk.
When I first saw that Megyn Kelly segment, I saw it maybe like a couple of years ago. I never thought, oh my God, she's a fraud or anything like that. I assumed, she's changed her mind. And plus, when you do work on network TV, certain things you're going to, report on that you may not be your favorite topic. But so my only thing is, if you're going to start saying that people are paid for their views or to push a certain narrative, because that's what she's claimed, people who criticize Candace, they're getting paid. If you're going to say that, my only thing is, you are in no position to have that stance when you have flip-flopped. Who's more likely to be the one getting paid? The people who have been consistent from day one and haven't wavered, even when it hasn't been the most popular opinion. People who have lost money, who have been deplatformed for sharing certain views, but they've still stuck to it. Or the people who have flip-flopped, like Candace seems to have now. Now she seems to come across as some sort of leftist.
She's going back to where she started.
Yeah. So I'm more inclined to think, is that you, Megyn? Are you of the same approach? Because we've got this footage of you talking about trans kids. Are you just going with whatever is going to help your career? Because
as a mom and as a mental health professional, I'm worried about this trans thing because I see a lot of children that are struggling because of this thing. It's really not good for this. It's not good. They should put a stop to it. If you want to do anything to yourself, wait till you're 18, or 18 is even still too young. Wait till you're 21. Then you are an adult. But allowing kids do things like this to themselves when they're young, it's scary. It really is. And everybody's just so scared because nobody wants to be called transphobic or trans anything, whatever word that they use to disparage people that do not agree with them. So that's why people pretend to be part of the movement when really and truly behind closed doors, they're not. So I think that was a grift from Megyn Kelly.
Yeah. And, you know, I have no problem thinking that now because she's gone on and said that people who criticize Candace are being paid. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
So, yeah. You know, if you're going to dish it out, you're going to have to take it as well. It's as simple as that. And that's what I'm seeing. And that's a pattern I'm seeing. People like Candace and Megyn, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. The moment they're faced with criticism, they start crying, you know, or playing victim, or being extreme and saying F you and all this rant that Megyn Kelly went on on her show. You know, it's just ridiculous.
It is. It is very ridiculous.
You're in no position to start questioning if somebody's views are genuine.
Well, I wonder if Erica's getting any support from other people, because what they're doing to this lady is traumatizing. All you have to do is go on TikTok. People are making stories about her. People are clowning her. People are talking about her tears. It's so bad. Like,
yeah, even in
I
the
can
comments.
imagine what it is. Like, in her mindset right now, she's going to be like, God, what have I done to deserve this? I've lost my husband, and these people are trying to tear me down. Listen, the attacks on that woman is a lot. She doesn't deserve it. She doesn't. And Candace says she serves God. I wonder what kind of God Candace serves, because if you serve the living God, surely you know that he is against you tearing another person down.
And the Bible says to take care of widows and orphans. Widows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad what they're doing to that. Talking about it makes me want to cry.
What would Candace be doing if she was in this position? God forbid. If her husband
she doesn't love her husband, she's in an arranged marriage. She's projecting. All the things that she says about Erica is what she's doing. That man doesn't love her. He can't love her, obviously, because if he does, he will not be touching up other men. So she thinks she can come for Erica because she is a Black woman.
Allegedly.
She's getting people like me riled up, because I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start dragging her, and my mouth has no filter. So I was on TikTok and I just saw all the things they were saying about Erica, and I just went like, oh my God, I can't take this. And I just logged off, you know? And that's why I went off X, because there's so much negativity everywhere. Everywhere. Women tearing each other down. You look left, this one is fighting this. You look right, this one is fighting this. There's no love. Oh.
Yeah. And I just, again, I always ask,
allegedly,
how can they justify this? Even if you think she's fake, even if you don't like her, there's plenty of people, you know, that we don't like, or that come across fake. But they don't, you know, even this sort of thing is not warranted towards people just because they're fake, because you don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, when Jennifer Lopez went through her, fourth, fifth divorce, I still felt bad for her.
No, I did not.
No, but I mean, like, okay, like, I thought it was ridiculous when she said men aren't capable of loving her and it's all their fault. That's like, girl, get a grip. But, you know, she got back with what's his name? Ben Affleck. I thought that was a bit much, because I'm like, dude, it's been like 20 years. We don't really care. We don't care. But she, you know, got back with him, and, you know, I found the video also that I was telling you about.
Which one is it?
It's called Why Hollywood Pretends to Care About Everything, where they talked about the whatchamacallit, the what's the word I'm looking for? The funders, the people who fund everything in because they were talking about how BlackRock has $10 trillion to fund. Yeah, can I show it to you? Can I hit present?
Yeah, where is she?
Where's Irene? I don't know.
Maybe children calling.
Okay.
I have to leave soon.
Okay.
So I'll let you girls get on with your conversation.
Wait, can you hear the video that I'm playing?
Yeah, I can't see it. No.
Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, oops. Sorry. Wait. Stop screen. Shit.
Tumi, what days do you go live on your channel?
I don't go live on my channel like that.
Why? You're not consistent anymore.
I know. Because I'm working on other things right now that are not me being live. Wait.
Sorry, my husband was locked out.
Oh,
No problem.
Should I play this Elisa Knows video about she's reacting to the merch that?
wait. I shared a video and then I was playing it, but you guys say you can't see it on your thing. Why don't I know how to share a video, guys? Am I like?
I think Irene is the only one that can share it.
Oh, because somehow it says I'm sharing it, but it's saying that I can't like. Okay. Irene, can you share it? I send it in the private chat. Woo. Oh. You can skip to 2 minutes. Skip to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Irene, your sound is off. Also.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear me saying about why I left? My husband.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Is it why Hollywood pretends? Okay.
Yeah, why Hollywood pretends to care about everything, and you can skip to like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
Hollywood doesn't believe in God, but it prays anyway. Not to the God you know, not even to the audience. What it prays to is capital. And capital now has a moral code.
Please welcome Andrew Ross Sorkin and his guest, the chairman and CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink.
Meet Larry Fink. He's not a studio executive, doesn't greenlight movies or sit in a writer's room. But when he speaks, CEOs across America sit up straight. As head of BlackRock, a firm managing over $10 trillion in assets, he controls more money than the GDP of France, the UK, and Italy combined. But why is he important? In 2018, he sent a letter to corporate America called A Sense of Purpose, and it told companies they needed to serve a social purpose if they wanted continued access to capital. Profit alone wouldn't cut it anymore. If you wanted continued investment, you'd need to prove your virtue. Most Americans never saw that letter, but every executive in Hollywood did. Blockbusters are very risky bets. When one flops, it burns through hundreds of millions. They need the goodwill of the money men to keep the lights on. The real business model in Hollywood is debt. Hundreds of millions borrowed against the hope that the third reboot of a collapsing franchise will be just familiar enough to keep international markets awake. But when the gatekeepers of that money stop measuring you by ticket sales and start grading you by your compliance with abstract social metrics, you stop thinking about what audiences want. You start thinking about what Larry wants. That's how you end up with Disney creatives bragging on leaked Zoom calls about this.
Leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel like wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm proud family. But I just was like, no one would stop me and no one.
A moment that told the truth accidentally. Storytelling had slipped to the back of the line. Entertainment was out. Messaging was in. Now, I won't pretend Hollywood was ever apolitical. From Mr. Smith Goes to Washington to Platoon, ideology has always had a seat at the table, but, and this is a huge but, those films were still trying to tell great stories. But now, it's story as delivery mechanism. The message comes first, the characters, dialogue, and structure just wrap around it. So what does that have to do with Larry Fink? Simple. When studios noticed that their largest institutional shareholders weren't evaluating them based on ticket sales or streaming numbers, but on ideological compliance and stakeholder capitalism, they adapted accordingly. Suddenly, producing a film wasn't just about making it good. It was about checklists. Did your cast represent a certain demographic breakdown? Did your themes promote a particular worldview? Did your corporate DEI training satisfy institutional shareholders who hadn't watched a movie in a decade. You might be tempted to think this is conspiracy talk, but here's what actually happened. Within 3 years of Fink's letter, 92% of S&P 500 companies, yes, nearly every major corporation, began publishing ESG reports. Now, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. Sounds harmless enough, but in practice, it's a scoring system used by massive investment firms to rate companies based on how well they align with progressive political and cultural goals. They basically tell a company, lower your emissions, diversify your board, echo the right values, or risk losing funding. That's the deal. And when $10 trillion says jump, corporate America doesn't ask why. They ask how high. Disney, Warner, Universal, every major studio now dances to that tune. They have to. Their access to capital depends on it. But the contradiction here is the studios act like they're leading a movement when they're just following capital. They frame themselves as moral innovators, but every step is dictated by investor mood swings. There's nothing revolutionary about conforming to the demands of your largest stakeholders. But while studios were tailoring their content to appease ESG scorecards, their audience was voting in a different language: silence. Disney's stock dropped from $201 to $85 between 2021 and 2022. And within that time, we saw the biggest flops in the company's history. And despite all the flops and box office bombs, the message kept coming. A more market-minded industry might have paused, asked questions. But remember, these weren't market decisions anymore. They were compliance decisions. And this was laid bare in 2024. Disney's CEO Bob Iger declared that the company would focus on entertainment, not messaging. Literally a few hours later, the studio announced a female Silver Surfer. You couldn't script a better parody. Iger was trying to hedge, placate the people who buy the tickets and the people who control the credit. But when those two groups want different things, neutrality becomes cowardice.
Sorry, guys. I was just realized that I can't, that Tumi couldn't pause it. Let me see. Where did everybody go? Let's see. Oh, thank you, Elaine, for becoming a new member. Is that on my channel or let me see. Yes, ESG. This is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, for sure. It does seem to be influencing everything these days. In particular, I noticed from 2020, it was particularly bad. Let me see what's going on with everybody. All right, I'll just play this and then we'll probably have to close out. Yeah, we've been here for quite a while now. Everyone can hear me, right? Okay, good. So this is just how I want to end it. I mean, people who are Candace fans, if you think this is something you can defend, then, you know, that's up to you. But, okay, great.
I'm going to try to keep my cool on this one because this really pisses me off. The fact that Candace made this sweatshirt and is selling it on her merch website. Shabbat Shalom, Daddy's Home. She is openly mocking and degrading Charlie's beliefs. And it comes from her Jew hatred. That's where it stems from. Because she is dumb and thinks that the recognition of Shabbat is only a Jewish custom and practice. Never mind that it is absolutely a Christian practice as well. Christians are commanded by the 10 Commandments to still acknowledge the Sabbath. Daddy's home. Charlie will never be home to his children ever again. You want to sit here and talk about Erica Kirk is grifting. She's making all this money off of his death and his name and his likeness and image. While you do this, everything with Candace is a projection. Whatever it is that she's saying that Erica is doing, she is doing herself. And this is the epitome of that disgusting, vile behavior. And at this point, if you are still following this woman and you are buying this garbage, You are a disgusting human being, and there is no excuse for you.
Wow. So I'm not sure where the others have gone. Yes, there are some technical difficulties. But yeah, I wanted to close with that. So, my question is, those who are still huge fans of Candace and think she's onto something once again, can you defend that? Is there an explanation for that? Because I can't think of one. Daddy's home? Like what? Shabbat Shalom? That just comes across as mocking Charlie and mocking Erica and her family. So, yeah, I don't see how anyone can defend that, but clearly there are people who will. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to join us for closing, but I think we can leave it pretty much there. Just want to see what you guys are saying. It's indefensible. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how she's going to explain that. Another issue is Brandon Tatum actually does her merch. He fulfills her merch store. So people were speculating maybe that's why he's, defending her, and they've got like ties business wise. So maybe that's the reason he's defending her, or one of the main reasons. But yeah, I don't really see how you can claim to be Charlie's friend when you are actively mocking him. This is somebody who's not here to defend himself anymore. He's not here to explain his beliefs about the Sabbath anymore. We've got plenty of footage of him explaining it, though. And it completely contradicts Candace's approach to this whole thing. So sick. Why mock that way? It's mocking. I don't see how you can explain it any other way. So that's where I am. I don't think what her actions are defensible anymore. She is doing the indefensible. And there's a pattern. I see that a lot with radical leftists, for example, doing the indefensible unashamedly. So, and as for the sharing the footage, this is what some people had to say. See if I can find some of the comments that I saw. Dom Lecrae commented on it. Just checking you can see that, okay. He said, what Candace shared yesterday was the most shameless piece of content I have witnessed since walking this earth. I have tried my hardest not to speak on it, to draw attention to it, but to play the death of Kirk on your channel for the world to see as you read from a teleprompter has left me stunned, and is the main reason I didn't tweet as much as I normally do yesterday. I was just that disturbed. I can hold my tongue no more. We should have a limit. My God, what has happened to this party I knew and loved? I don't think she represents, the conservative movement anymore, though. Real friends don't show the moment their friend was killed over and over to make money off their murder. I cannot believe this is where we are. Charlie deserves better. Yeah. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Definitely fake, right? I would have to agree with that. So thank you so much for joining, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Alexis, for doing the for modding. And thank you to Tumi, Yuki, and Julia Reacts for joining the live today. Always very interesting insights. Just double checking they're not still. They'll let me know what happened later. All right, guys. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend when it begins. And take care of yourselves. And God willing, I will see you in the next video.